Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to become a superhuman. There's many ways of doing becoming superhuman, different kinds of superpowers, so to speak. And so far we've talked about superhuman healing, superhuman fitness, superhuman strength, and now we're talking about superhuman manifestation ability. So who here wants to manifest the things they want in their life? Raise your hand. Who here wants to create anything that they want or to attract anything that they want in their life? Let's say you want to attract more money or attract the your soulmate, attract somebody that is very attractive. Or do you want to attract good situations into your life? You want to attract good luck into your life. Okay, so if you're looking for the fastest way and the easiest way to start manifesting things into your life, then you are absolutely in the right place, because I've personally been able to manifest a lot of things in my life. I came from a very dark place, depression, being broke, being sick, and having a really crappy life. And wasn't able to manifest things I want. I felt like I only attracted the bad things. I attracted bad people into my life, bad circumstances. I made bad decisions, and then I suffered from it. Who here knows somebody or experienced that themselves? They just feel like you feel stuck, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, no matter how much you meditate or pray or whatever you do, like or do affirmations or do exercise or whatever thing that you do, that you really can't get to where you want to go. You really can't manifest the things you want. You're still not where you want to be. You still feel like you're so far away from your dream, and it feels like it's so out of reach. It doesn't seem like you're really getting anywhere. You're trying so hard, and then every time you're just hitting a wall. Every time you try to do something, you just seem like you're just going around in circles. You're not really getting to the place where you want to go. We've all felt stressed out or frustrated or anxious about what's going to happen in the future. And we've tried almost everything to manifest the life that we want, right? So why am I saying that this is the easiest way? Because normally, for a person to go from a really, negative place with negative energy around them to a place of positive energy and a place of a lot of abundance, it's a process. And that process usually takes a lot of effort, or it takes a lot of time, or both. And along the way, a lot of people give up. A lot of people just give up on their dream because it takes so long, or they find that nothing they're doing is working, and they just settle for what they already have. But I'm someone who never gives up. I'm someone who always goes after my dream. If I get knocked down, I get back up. Who's like that too? Okay, are you a fighter or are you a loser? Okay, you don't fail unless you give up. Right? There's no such thing as failure. There's only opportunity to become a better person. There's always only a better opportunity to become stronger, and opportunity to become more successful. Because if you don't fail, eventually you're gonna get to where you want to go. Okay. Now I know that you're probably thinking, well, everybody says that, David. That's just what all the gurus say, right? Don't give up and just keep going, right? What do you have to offer that's different from everybody else? Well, guess what, guys? What if there was a technology that helped you to shortcut that process? So instead of having to spend a lot of effort, changing yourself from the inside out, transforming yourself physically, transforming your thoughts, transforming your spirit, which takes a lot of hard work and meditation and training and commitments and time. What if we were able to just shortcut the whole process and just do it as fast as possible with the technology? We have the technology. It's called cheat coils. So a lot of people think, so what? You can use the technology to manifest things? You can use the technology to transform yourself? I thought this is just something to help you, sleep better. Or I thought this is just something to help you lose weight. Or I just thought this is something to help you have less stress. Well, it is. It does all those things. But there's a lot more that you're not aware of, and how powerful this thing is. Okay, let's just think about it. Now, we're talking about attracting the things we want, right? So there are basically two ways of attracting things into your life. Okay, number one is projection, and number two is attraction. It's pretty simple. Here's a magnet, right? Okay, how do magnets attract each other? They just do. We don't really understand why they attract each other, but they attract each other, right? Magnets attract each other. So does a magnet have to work very hard to attract something that's magnetic? Or does it just do it by itself? Is there any force or any input of power or energy in order for that magnet to attract to another magnet? Is there any additional energy that's added? There's none. The magnet just attracts by itself. You don't need to add energy to the magnet to attract anything. Okay, so that's one way of attracting things, is to attract it in a way just like a magnet. So many people out there are trying to grab things and trying to pull things into their life. Well, if you're a magnet, do you have to physically pull anything? You don't, because you can just attract things to you. You can just attract things to you because you are magnetically attractive. You have a magnetic attraction. So how do you become a magnet, and how do you make yourself a magnet so that you don't even have to try and things get attracted to you automatically? Okay, well, keep watching in this webinar and I'm going to explain to you how that works. Okay, so the second way I talked about is projection. So if magnets, or being a magnet, helps you to attract, what's an example of something that projects? How about a satellite dish? Okay, satellite dish, it projects into, and then communicates with satellites into space, right? What else is a projection? How about a radio tower or cell phone tower? Cell phone towers project. They send off signals to all around the world at the speed of light. So what if you were able to project your intentions just like a satellite dish with your mind, and then send a signal out to the universe, and then use your magnetic attraction to attract those things into your life, and being able to do it automatically with almost no effort, or basically no effort. So those are the two key points. If you want to manifest anything in your life, you need to do those two things. You need to first project, like, what is your intention? What do you want in your life? What reality do you want to live? Once you have that, be able to project that reality into the universe so that the universe can hear you, or other people can hear you, or basically whatever is supposed to happen to you will start happening to you through the mechanism of attraction. All right, so what do? How do you manifest things also? So there's two other ways of manifesting. So that's all the broader general spectrum. Now, how do you really manifest? Because you might be thinking, well, that all sounds so sciencey and sounds like really, airy and like very conceptual. Like, how do you actually do it? Like, what do you actually do? What do you actually do? Well, our minds, what really creates things, right? What creates things? Before this magnet became into existence, before this mouse became into existence, before chi coils came into existence, where did it come from? Did it come from the ground? Did it come from a factory? What happened before that? Well, somebody had to design it. Somebody had to think of it and have the idea. So first, you need to have the idea. You need to have the inspiration. You need to have some kind of inspiration or some kind of imagery. It may not even be imagery. It could be a feeling. It could be a gut feeling that something's going to happen, or be a gut feeling that before something happens. So now we talk about the left brain and right brain. Okay, left brain represents your analytical mind. And what does the right brain represent? The right brain represents your creative mind. So the key is, how can you combine the two? How can you use your creative mind and then also combine it with your analytical mind to figure out how to do things? And that's the key. So many people are either strong in one or the other. And fewer people are strong in both sides of their brain, that are able to balance the analytical and the creative minds. Okay, so if you want to manifest in a powerful way, if you want to be able to manifest instantly, then you need both. You need to have creativity in order to imagine up and dream up the possibilities. Because if you become too analytical, you will not believe that the possibilities can become reality. If you're too analytical, you're only going to see what already exists or what already has been done. You won't be able to expand your mind and believe what can be done. Okay, so that's the difference between the skeptics and the dreamers. Okay, because dreamers, they dream of things that to exist before they happen. Before Apple became Apple, somebody had to dream of this company, of this computer, right? Before Amazon became Amazon, somebody had to dream, Jeff Bezos had to dream that one day transactions are going to be, or people are going to buy things online. And when he first started, everybody laughed at him, as with many other inventors. When they first come out with the ideas to solve a problem or have a vision of the future, most people laugh at them. Why? Because most people don't use their creative mind. Most people are only analytical. They just look in front, see what's in front of them, what already exists, and they're not able to use their creativity and their imagination to see what could exist and to see how it's possible. Okay, so the key to manifesting is you need to activate. So the key to manifesting is you need to activate both sides of your brain, your left brain and your right brain. You need to activate your creative mind and also your analytical mind. Now, there's another group of people who are highly creative but not analytical. So they're heavily left brain, or is it right brain? I don't remember. Okay, so they're highly creative. So they're so highly creative and not analytical enough. So all they have is just imaginations. They just daydream all the time. They just have wishes and they have lots of different dreams, which are great, but no real plan to make it reality. No real steps and no real evaluation and analysis of what is possible, what is actually possible, what they're able to do, what steps to take to start manifesting the things they want. So what's the problem there? The problem is that they don't analyze and use their other part of their brain where they can actually create steps for them to go towards their dream. All right. So in my transformation course, in level 5, you're going to learn all the steps that you need to take to manifest absolutely everything, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If you follow these 12 steps, you're going to manifest anything that you want. And the neat thing is that I'm going to show you how you can balance your left brain with your right brain so that you can do both things. And that's the real key. It's as if you were rowing a canoe. You need to row both sides, right? What happens when you only row one side? You just go around in circles, right? You roll one, let's say you roll the other side only. What happens? You go in circles the other way. Okay, so the only way to move forward is you need to balance both oars on your canoe or kayak so that your kayak or canoe will go straight and go towards the destination. So that's why you need to balance both left and right brain. So what else do you need in order to manifest? So we're talking left brain and right brain. What's another representation of that? Another representation of that is the heart and mind. So your heart. So there's a concept called the heart-mind connection. So what do you think your heart represents? Does that represent your creativity or your analytical mind? Probably represents your intuition, right? And it represents your creativity. It represents your emotions. It represents your ethereal or your astral body, right? So what does your head mind represent? That represents your analytical and thinking and logical mind. Okay, so another way to represent left and right brain cognition or coordination is also the connection of your mind and your heart. And guess what? There's chakras for them, right? So we have your third eye chakra, and then we have the crown chakra. But let's talk about third eye chakra, and also your heart chakra. So there's meditative techniques that you can use in order to connect those chakras. And what happens when you start connecting those chakras is you'll find that you start balancing your manifesting. You start being able to manifest things a lot more easier. And that's the beginning of balancing your chakras, is to balance, well, in this case for manifesting, is really useful to combine or to connect your mind chakra and your heart chakra. When you do that, what's going to happen is that you're going to start to move with purpose. You're going to start to really know what your purpose is, what you're meant to do, and your belief in yourself cannot be shaken, because you know in your heart that is the right thing to do, and also in your mind you also know it's the right thing to do. There's a difference. Do you understand? Okay, so a lot of times, especially business people or anybody for that matter, is they work to make money. Okay, everybody works to make money. But what if you just work and that's the only reason you want to do something? That's the only reason you start a business. That's the only reason that you do something. It's because you want to make money. Now, does that make you a happy person? Are people happy when they do that? Yeah, well, some people, but probably a very small percentage will be happy just making money, doing something to make money. But most people are not satisfied, because money is just something very temporary, and it's just an energy. We can't take the money with us when we die. But when you start to combine your purpose, and when you start to do something because your heart tells you that's the right thing to do, then what happens? Then it doesn't matter whether you make money or not, because you know it's the right thing, and you feel you're in the right place, and you feel that is your purpose, and you're fulfilling that purpose in your life. And you feel a lot happier because you know that's the right thing to do. So who knows somebody who have done it themselves, who does something not because they want to make money, but because they know it's the right thing to do. All right, I think all of us have done that, and congratulations on that. Good job on that. We need more people to do that. You know, whenever you donate to a charity, or do you give someone a helping hand without expecting anything in return, that is your heart, you know, telling you or guiding you to do that thing, because you know it's the right thing to do, because your heart's telling you to do it. So, but then the problem with that is that some people, they do only that to a point where they become very poor. And some people are okay with that, but a lot of us, it's not realistic. You know, it's nice to be Mother Teresa, but not everybody can do that. It's nice to be Dalai Lama, but not everybody's Dalai Lama, okay? We're just regular people. So how can we lead with our hearts and also lead with our minds at the same time? Okay, so that's the key. How can you make decisions and balance your mind and your heart, so that it's connected, so that whatever you do, you have both. Let's say you want to start a business. Well, you're going to make money with that business, but also you're doing it because you're passionate about it. All right? And that makes such a big difference, because I've done business for like 25 years. And then I've made lots of mistakes. I've made the wrong decisions many times. And I worked with a lot of the wrong people many times too. And then pretty much every time that I screw up or the business fails is when I just think about the money. And I just want to do it. And I may be interested in it, or I may be kind of excited about the idea to begin with it. But I didn't feel that my heart was fully into it. And whenever I do that, I kind of justify myself, and I say, okay, well, yeah, it's a good business idea. I think I can make money with it. I'm kind of excited about it. It sounds pretty good. And then I do it. But what ends up happening is that my heart isn't completely in it. And then most of the time it turns out I don't make money, or just break even, or just waste my time, or get frustrated, or something like that. Okay? So it took me some time to figure out, you know what? I got to do something that my whole heart is in, and also makes money, and also can have a really rewarding experience that's going to utilize my full potential. And that's what I found with this business, with Chi Clothes, is that I'm using my full potential with engineering, with music, with meditation, with qigong, with martial arts, with design, with marketing. Like so many skills that I applied to build this business. And I love it because it's changing people's life, which is what I really love to do in the first place. And I'm using all of the things that I have learned in my life in order to create this product so that people like you can transform yourself faster, much faster, like a shortcut. I'm creating a shortcut for everybody. And I have a lot of success with this. And people ask, if you ask me how did you do it? Well, I just explained it to you. Is I combined my heart and my mind. I synchronized them. And I synchronized my left and my right brain. So those are kind of like the beginning. Okay, if you want to be able to manifest, those are prerequisites. You can't manifest with just your analytical mind. And if you do, you may not be happy with the results. And you probably can't manifest with just your creativity, because if you don't analyze, you're probably not going to get very far. Make sense? So once you have the balance, then you can start projecting. Like when we started with the beginning of this session is projecting and attracting. All right, let's go back to the prosperity pyramid. Who's seen the prosperity pyramid before? Level 1 energy, level 2 is integration, level 3 is alignment, level 4 is transformation, level 5 manifestation. So in order to do anything up here, you need the thing or the level before it. It builds upon itself. And everything's based on energy. Without energy, you won't be able to move anything. Just like in physics, without energy, without force, you won't be able to change the direction of any object. All right, so you need to have energy. If you want to change a direction in your life, you need to have energy. So how do you get energy? Just get the chi coil and use it. That's how it's called chi coil. It makes energy, it makes chi. So just use it and you get energy. That's that simple. You don't have to even meditate. People say, well, do I have to meditate? If you meditate, great. But even if you don't meditate, it's great too, because it meditates for you. That's the whole point. Number 2, integration. Is you start to integrate your heart and mind and your body as well. Okay, so you move not just with your body, but also with your heart and your mind. Number 3 is alignment. So you are aligned to your purpose. You're aligned to what you're meant to do, what your strengths are, and what comes easily for you. Number 4 is transformation. You start to transform yourself from into who you are meant to be. And number 5 is manifestation. So we have technologies that help you along the way. So you start with a chi coil, and then later on you might invest in an oracle, resident one, or staff of legends to help you to on this journey up to the top of the pyramid. And also we have different frequencies. So as you can see, we have the master collection, quantum, higher quantum, inner circle collections, which each has a higher power, has a stronger effect on being able to manifest. Okay, like I said, there are 12 steps to the manifesting process. You learned this in the transformation course. Okay, and chi energy is the basis of all kinds of superhuman powers: martial arts, strength, fitness, energy healing, manifestation, psychic ability. So we're talking about manifestation, and Spider-Man. Spider-Man's got what? He's got spider sense. And what does Iron Man have? He's got ingenuity, and he's got his ability to create something out of nothing. Right? He built his Iron Man suit in a cave. So he just took whatever he had, which is a bunch of parts. But what else did he have? He had a genius mind. So he put it to work, and then became Iron Man. Okay, how about Spider-Man? How did he use his sixth sense? He used his spidey sense in order to avoid things that come, avoid attack, or be able to know what's going to happen before it happens. Okay, this is because what happens when you start projecting your consciousness out in the world, it's like you have feelers all around you, and then you can sense when something's going to happen. You can sense when something's not going to happen. So you have this intuition that's superhuman. You have this superhuman intuition, and it's actually scientifically proven that your heart can tell the future. Your heart knows something's going to happen about 5 seconds before it happens. So how can you actually use that intuition that's built into your hardware already? Like I said in the past webinars, we all have this hardware. We're like a really powerful phone, right? Who knew like 20 years ago that now we have smartphones that are so smart that can do all this computing in a little tiny device? Who would have thought, right? Who was around when they had these giant cell phones this size, the size of this this water jug? I remember when they used to have cell phones the size of, well, not maybe not this big, but like the size of this box here. All right, and they had no apps on it. So you have the hardware. You're like a super smartphone, but now what you're missing is the apps. You need to install apps in you so that you can do more things. All right, so that's what these programs, that's what all these frequencies are. They're like apps. If you want to create, you want to be able to manifest, you need the manifesting frequency. If you want to be able to lose weight, you need the weight loss frequency. If you want to be able to get energy, you need the energy activation frequency. So each frequency is like installing that app into yourself, and then you run that app in yourself, and then your body and naturally starts to do that thing. Okay, so that's how this technology works, and it's done through chi energy. It's done through electromagnetic energy. How do people normally project things? Well, with meditation, they would usually get into a brainwave state or very calm meditative state where your body is very relaxed, but you're not sleeping, and you're able to turn off your analytical mind. Okay, so you're closing your eyes, and the way to turn off your analytical mind is to stop talking. Okay, so you need to stop talking, but not just talking out. You need to stop your internal dialogue. And that's a huge hurdle for a lot of people when they start meditating, is they keep talking to themselves. They still keep hearing this voice in their head. So one way to overcome that is to do a mantra. You can do or you can do a mantra, whatever that mantra is, or you can just make a noise, E, I, O, U, whatever noise. When you make that noise, it actually shifts your mind so that you can't think of anything else. It turns off that internal dialogue. All right. But guess what? In order to do that, it takes a lot of practice, probably at least 2 months or 3 months before you can turn off the internal dialogue longer than 60 seconds. Because if you cannot, let's say you turn it off and then another voice comes, and then you turn it off, another voice comes, which is great for beginners, but you need to expand that time. You're going to lengthen that time of that silence in your mind. So when people say, okay, you got quiet mind, quiet mind, quiet mind, doesn't mean that you don't have thoughts. It means that you don't have dialogue, and you don't have analytical thoughts. So you turn off that part of your brain. Now, after you're able to do that, then you start to access a part of your consciousness, a part of your mind that is highly creative. So basically, it's like a different state of mind. It's like when you dream. Okay, so when you dream, most of the time you're not aware you're dreaming, but you're just experiencing it. Like you're seeing what's happening. Like it's very rare that people can control their dreams. In for example, lucid dreaming, that's something you can train. But for most people, when they dream, most people when they dream, they don't remember. Okay, they don't remember they dream. When you start meditating more and accessing that part of your mind, now you start to remember your dreams when you wake up, and you also start remembering them more vividly and in more detail. So that's something that happens when you start using Qigong. And that's one of the first things I noticed when I start using the frequencies Qigong, is that my dreams became a lot more vivid, and I was able to remember them when I woke up, and I had more details that I could write down. So I was asking, what's going on? How come I could do this? Like what's going on here? And now that I've learned all this stuff, now I understand what happened is that it's the Qigong start to activate that part of your consciousness that is connected to your subconscious mind, or to your dream mind. So when you meditate, what you're basically attempting to do is you want to be in this thin line between being awake and dreaming. Okay, you want to be right there where you're not asleep, you're not dreaming, and you're not completely awake. It's that balance. So there's different meditation techniques in order to do that. But guess what? Again, it takes a long time to train to do that. But so why do people do that? Well, it's because when you're in that state, now you access a part of your whole soul that allows you to project. It allows you to project your reality, and allows you to also to attract the things that you want. also attracts to you the ideas, the visions, the concepts, maybe even a voice. You might even hear a voice. You might get a feeling, or maybe even a physical manifestation. All of a sudden, the lights start turning off in your room. That's happened before to me when I was meditating. Lights start flickering. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this thing, or the microwave turns off by itself. Physical things may manifest like that. Or, for example, the person that you were thinking of, they call you that moment, or give you a text message. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, I texted somebody one of my frequencies on YouTube because I thought he would enjoy it, or I thought he would like it. And then he texted me back. He's like, I'm actually listening to this right now. So that's what happens, right? When you start to have a lot of projection power with your consciousness, then these things happen. It's like you're connected with the universe, and you're connected with other people in ways that are scientifically impossible. Okay? But now we're discovering that this is the science. There actually is science behind it. It's just that science hasn't caught up to what's really happening. Okay? So, and that's what happens with every kind of scientific breakthrough, right? Before we had penicillin, which kills germs, right? Or what is it? Reduces inflammation. People thought, well, this is not going to work. This is just a waste of time. Until they proved that it worked, and they found out the science behind it, and then became widely accepted. Then the science caught up to what actually happened, right? So that's what's happening now, and science is starting to catch up to what frequencies do to you. All right, it's been known for centuries, even millennia, that frequencies or meditation or prayer or intention can have effect on your whole body, on your mind, and also your spirit, and also in reality. That's what all spiritual practice is all about. And then science, is saying, oh, that's not scientific. That doesn't doesn't exist. Until now, we say with science, with quantum physics, and with measurements, we can see it happening. We can see the effects of it. We can actually measure it, that prove that this spiritual energy, this chi energy exists. And now science is catching up to what actually happens in reality. Okay, so now there's a lot of scientists, a lot of really amazing people who are using frequency technology, using it to heal lots of different things. Okay, I cannot say that chi coils heal anything. I'm not allowed to, but it can help you sleep. We can say that it can help you meditate. Okay, but other people with using frequency technology, they are going on YouTube and they're saying that, look, I just healed this person of cancer. Look, I just healed this person of Alzheimer's using just frequency. All right, so everybody, or a lot of people, are starting to realize that this actually has been around for a long time, which science is just starting to catch up to it. If you're serious about manifesting, or especially attracting abundance, then we have our Inner Circle program, which has 37 frequencies. We have the most powerful manifesting frequencies on there. And it's stuff that I've been listening to and also using the chi coils with on a daily basis. And it's just amazing. I'm sure many of you on this webinar also have had incredible, inexplicable success and manifestations. JJ wants to know, do I have to have chi coils to buy frequencies? No, you can buy frequencies separately and you can use them by themselves. But if you want to experience the full effects of chi coils, you would use the frequencies together with the chi coils. What is the range of the chi coils in the environment? There's a measurable range of 3 feet radius. So here's the chi coil. You can measure it out about 3 feet away. This actually goes on to infinity. If you get technical, it goes on into infinity, it goes into space, it goes to all around the world. If you base on quantum mechanics, actually infinity, but we don't have devices to measure to that far, but we do have devices that can measure the electromagnetic wave, because there's actually more than one thing happening here. It's not just electromagnetic frequency, there's actually scalar waves that are created when you use two of them at the same time. And scalar waves travel faster than light, and scalar waves go into infinity. If you buy the chi coil transformation system, you'll get a a large collection of them, but that won't be all of them because we have many more on our website. So let me just show you the difference. So right now, yeah, it's a good time to get the Chico 3 system because it's 20% off, which you save like quite a lot, $600 on it. So go here. I think we only have, well, we only have one in stock right now, so it might sell out today. So Chico transformation system, you get all the master frequencies, which are about 36 of them. You get 189 abundance frequencies, 261 abundance frequencies too. And you get the all these bonuses. You get the immune boost frequencies. So you get a lot. So you get most of the quantum frequencies. But then it doesn't include any of the higher quantum frequencies or the inner circle frequencies. So that's at a higher level. So if you look at this chart, right, they'll include the master in quantum, but then they won't have the higher quantum or the inner circle ones. Alvita says, I'm a real estate broker, and last year I got many calls for my service, but I noticed I have been sabotaging many opportunities to success last year, so I made very little. I'm assuming that you want to be able to not sabotage yourself, right? You want to be able to sell lots of properties or sell lots of homes without having to sabotage yourself. Well, that's what this can do. So if you just use the frequency, remove negative energy, that's really, really useful for removing any kind of energy that's causing you to sabotage yourself. Most of the time when you sabotage yourself, it's just a mental block. It could be a spiritual block even. And sometimes it's hard to really change the way that our mind works and change what our frequencies are because we are so bombarded with so many negative frequencies or negative people. And I've done real estate before and I know what kind of industry that is. And most people are not very positive. Most people are actually very aggressive, or most people have negative energy. And it's hard to not sabotage yourself when you're surrounded with people in an industry like that. Don't worry, because you can just use chi coils to get rid of that. And what you're going to find is that you just start thinking differently, feeling differently. You start feeling more positive. You start seeing more opportunity rather than seeing obstacles. And you'll start to be more free, because when you're sabotaging, most of the time it's just your mind limiting and telling you that you can't do something. Or when something starts to go well, your mind says, okay, let's stop it. Everything stop. It's going somewhere where I'm not comfortable with, even though it is in a positive way. Let's say things are starting to go your way. You feel like something kicks inside of yourself that somehow screws it up, says the wrong thing. And that usually is caused by anxiety. And that's a lot of times caused by probably a negative attitude, or it's just conditioned. You're probably just conditioned to do it. It could be an internal voice or internal emotion that blocks you from achieving that success that you actually are achieving. And what's inside you is kind of like isn't comfortable with it, so it does everything it can so that you can stay where you are instead of moving on. Okay, so that's probably how you feel, and that's probably what's been going on with you. So what you need to do is just use the chi coil, clear out all of those blocks, and use it every day. And I guarantee you, within even a week or two, you'll feel like a completely different person, and you start to attract positive things to yourself. You start to attract positive deals, people who, or you start meeting people that are really helpful to you. You start meeting people that are really actually going to help your business rather than waste your time, or rather than cause you to be more negative, or rather than make you lose money. Because people who are successful are already in that vibration. They're already in that positive, healthy, abundant vibration. And what happens is when you are in such a negative, and I'm not saying you, but what happens when a person is not in that higher vibration that they need to be, then they can't seem to attract those good deals. right? They can't seem to attract those good customers, those ones that buy a huge property without any headaches, and then you make a huge commission, right? That's the dream of every real estate agent or brokers. They want awesome clients and customers that have lots of money and that just buy things without causing a hassle, right? And then you make a commission easily. So in order to get to there, you need to change your vibration. You need to change your frequency so that you can attract and vibrate with those people. Because unless you do, they're going to sense something different from you and they won't feel comfortable with you and give you the business that you want. Does it make sense? So if you want that, you're going to need to change your own frequency and your vibration. And the fastest and easiest ways to do that is with our Qi Call technology. Okay, what jewel from the collection are you wearing? It's so beautiful. This is called a quantum pendant or super quantum pendant. You can get it on our store. Just check it out. It's called the gold hematite super quantum pendant. It's on it. Where is the psychic meditation? I cannot find. I have golden Qi calls. Do I need to push it separately? All the meditations help your psychic ability, but if you want the specific psychic ability bundle, that's in the inner circle. So you have to join an inner circle to get those inner circle psychic ability. What is the right way of meditating? That is there's no right way to meditate. It's whatever works for you. And then what works well for me is the Qi close. They help me to meditate the fastest and the easiest way. Because in order to meditate is changing the way your brain works, right? Changing the way your mind works. I explained earlier is that you need to get into that balance between your conscious, waking, analytical mind and then from your subconscious, dreaming, and intuitive mind. You need to find the fine line and be in there, and then use techniques to stay in there. Okay, so how do you do that? There's many ways of doing it. I'm not going to get into it, but the fastest way, if you want to know, is to use the Qi codes to do it. That's just so simple. Okay, I'm not going to. I mean, there's courses that you can take that teach you how to do that. They're great, but in my opinion, you don't really need them if you use a Qi coil and just do the Qi meditation exercises that I show in my courses. But if you don't know what inner circle is, just go to David Wong innercircle.com, and here you can apply and sign up for our inner circle program. Okay, you have to apply for it because not everybody is allowed in this group because the frequencies are very powerful and they're not really meant for everybody. I have to make sure that you can handle these before we give them to you. So as you can see here, we got abundance, manifestation, psychic ability, brain boost, mind expansion, abundance plus, abundance money, abundance business. So these are the best and the best of the best frequencies we have, and they're only available exclusively with our inner circle members. Okay, so the inner circle membership is a one-time membership. It's $2,000, and you get $8,000 worth of frequencies, basically. Mohammed says, there's a guy on the internet that uses Qi in his hand to treat people. And the same Twitch, I see his patients get, when I get seeing Qi calls, the same amazing. Yeah. So you can use Qi to heal people. And there's Qigong masters that can send energy with their hands and even send electrical energy with their hands to heal people. Yeah, lots of Qigong masters can do that, but just like any kind of sport. So for example, a lot of people can play basketball, but not everybody's LeBron James, right? So the guy that you saw is like the LeBron James of Qigong healing. Not everybody can do that. You need to have certain DNA and you have to train for a long time. You need to be special. But so how do you use Qi to activate your energy healing? Well, use Qi Call, because then everybody can do it. You don't even need to train. You can just use this and use Qi and use Qi as like a Qi master without any training. That's what the Qi Call is for. Isn't that cool? Once again, make sure you don't miss the sale. We have the Qi Call 2 and the Qi Call 3 is on sale. Today's the last day. Go to qilifestore.com to grab it before they run out. All right, so until next time, use the Qi and prosper.